Alright, so yes, the truck's a mess, but and she made a huge mess all over everything because she was splashing water out of her bowl, which was fun. Today is a crappy day. Everything that I've been trying to get through is so far failing. I called even the shelter today to see if I could at least park there, because I know I can't stay there with Gemma, and they told me, no, she's not allowed in, I can't even park there. Yet you can't sleep on the streets here or even parking your vehicle on the streets here, so there's literally no option. And they were like, well, you can stay in there and leave your bird in the truck, and then they take away my bird for neglect. And if I did that, so first I would never in a million years just leave Gemma just chilling in a truck while I wouldn't have gone to sleep somewhere else. She's just as much has every right to have a, be safe and okay as I do. Which is actually extremely against the law for the cops if they try to arrest me, because now that I have it on record that I called them, and I'm not allowed to stay there because of her, they technically legally can't arrest me, but it doesn't mean they won't, and it doesn't mean they're not going to lock me up, because what am I don't have a freaking, I don't have the money to fight these people, and they've got a lot of money, so I don't freaking know. Very stressful day. I'm almost thinking about going down to Miami for a little bit. There's a boat there, and I have, for my Cash App, I have 800 already, 808 I think, and there's a boat down there with a skiff. It's not the greatest, but it's something I can live on, and it's something for us to start. But I still need another $800 for it. I'm $800 shy, but I can maybe possibly sell my antiques down there. I'm having a hard time here. I did sell some chairs today for $80, some old antique chairs that I had sitting in the back there, folding chairs. They're pretty old, so I want to make sure I brought them with me. And I did get to that, but that's pretty much going to cover gas and food for a little bit. So I'm really considering and debating and going down there just to try to get that boat, and then maybe I can't wrangle up some money somehow, and I can't get on that, and then I can just start fixing that down there and then bring that up here after, or even stay down there if it works better down there, who knows. But today definitely didn't go very well. Every person that I was hoping would get back to me about stuff, it just went weird. Like one guy, I made a Facebook post like on one of the groups, like saying, hey, I have a vehicle to trade for this, blah blah blah. This is my situation. This is where I'm at. And so this one person randomly messaged me on it, and he says, call me. So I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe this guy has something, And so I call him. And he's like, okay, I remember who you are. And then he tells me about this boat, which sounds really great. It's smaller boat, but that's fine. It's only 27 foot, but that's plenty big enough for me and her. And it has all these things and blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, oh, and I was like, okay, so what would you be willing to work with me on it, considering my situation? And you know what I mean? He's like, well, I need all the money up front. And I was like, I put on the post that I have a truck and about, $800. That's what I got. Why would you message me and saying all this stuff if you knew that I already put that out there? Like, I just don't understand people. It's like, it makes absolutely no sense at all. People are like loopy or something. So if you do that, don't do that to somebody. And then even with my ad, I'm getting all these people I do this on Twitch too. And I had some guy who's like, I'm really sorry about your situation. And I was like, oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's like, it's no big deal. It is what it is. We all, have our hard times. I know I'll get through it. And then he was like, well, for this price, I can advertise your Twitch channel for you. I'm like, what part of I'm freaking homeless don't you understand? It makes absolutely no sense. Like, why even ask somebody if you know their situation? Why ask them for money? Like, you don't ask homeless people for money. It's just not a good idea. But anyways, so I'm thinking about going on. Like I said, that boat. It's a 35 foot, which is rather actually quite large. It's in pretty rough shape. It's on a mooring field, which is good, so I don't have to worry about it going anywhere. And it comes with a skiff. It needs a bit of work, but by far, I've had way worse. way worse. It's livable. It's got everything it needs. I think it needs a new head installed in it, and the kitchen redone, and then a whole bunch of cleaning, and then some carpentry work, which I can do all that easily. But the deck and hull itself is secure and sound, and needs to, eventually I have to take it out of the water, get painted and all that. But it's a beautiful boat. Bristol, it's a 35-foot Bristol. So I'm gonna try to, if I can somehow come up with the extra $800, that'll get me and Gemma out of this. So that's I'm really debating on whether I should go down there or not, because that could sell quick too. So who knows? But there ain't crap for boats here. Like, there's nothing for anybody. Like, half the people I knew don't live here anymore, or a lot of them maybe even passed away. It's like I'm finding out so many people have died. It's quite sad. But I'm really hoping, like I said, I'm going to debate on it a little bit, think about my options. But I know they're a little bit more lenient on people sleeping in their vehicles out of the Keys, so that might even be a better option. I used to know so many people here. I was hoping that at least with connections and all that, something would be available pretty quick, but it doesn't seem like anything is. And I didn't have anybody's number. I haven't talked to people in like forever. I'm horrible at keeping up with friends. Any of my real friends will tell you that I'm awful at it. But I just get so focused on what's right and what's ahead of me that I kind of forget what sometimes things that are behind. I know, babies. You were cranky today. She was, well, she was good for most of the day, but she was welcome back to, visited a friend for a little bit that I haven't seen in a little while, which was nice. So he let me take a shower over there and all that, so that was nice. And then on the way back to the truck, she was going crazy and freaking out. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's because it was dark or whatnot. But then I called the shelter, and like I said, the shelter, I can't believe, I mean, like, if you can't stay in a shelter, which I get, I have Gemma, and like they said I could stay there, but she'd have to stay in the truck. And that's just, I think that's animal cruelty. You can't do that. What happens if something happens to her? I can't be out there to, and then she's loud as hell. And that's just not fair. I mean, she's not just an animal to me. She's not just something, that people walk around and use as, whatever. She's an emotional support thing for me. She's my family. She's, nothing, for no reason ever would I do that to her. I would treat her the same as I would treat a child. And I'm pretty sure if a shelter said, hey, you can leave your child in here and sleep, nobody else would either. And that's the same reason I'm not. She doesn't deserve that. I'll suffer and struggle for her any day. But it kind of makes me nervous to stay here now that they said that, because I even was like, why can I just park out in front of you guys' area, the shelter? It's like, at least, I'll check in, I can still do paperwork, everything else like that, but when it comes to sleeping time, I'll just sleep in my truck, but park there so the cops can't mess with me. No, you can't do that. But then you also have a no camping or even sleeping in your vehicles policy throughout all of Monroe County, which is the county I'm in right now, where it's the county of the Keys. So how can you have that, but then have restrictions on that? People have, what if somebody was, somebody had a service dog? You're saying that they can't do that? They can't bring an animal in there? Or they can't sleep in a vehicle like that? Like, I mean, there's a lot of people who have issues or who lose everything, and they shouldn't, just because you lose everything doesn't mean you have to lose your animal too. I mean, that's some things that like actually keep people going. Like, like if I didn't have Gemma, I don't know what I'd do right now, because I would have nothing to, nothing to make me feel like I'm still a human. And that's what she does. She keeps me sane. She keeps me motivated and wanting to try. And that's something I would never, ever get rid of. Because I know she deserves a good life, and I'm going to give her a good life. I'm just hoping and praying that things start looking up. I'm really, like I said, I'm really debating on going to Miami for that other boat. I'm still $800 shy on that other boat, but there's a chance at least, there, and a chance where I can go, there's Walmarts, and a lot of Walmarts will let you, they don't really bitch if you sleep in their parking lot overnight. There ain't no daggone Walmarts here. The closest Walmart's 100 miles away, in Florida City. It's just crazy, The inhumane laws they have here, it's like, when does it become illegal to be homeless? Like, when did it become such a nasty, horrible thing that people think, Like, people have problems. People lose things. People come into hard times. It doesn't make you a bad citizen. It doesn't, sure in the hell doesn't make you a criminal. If you're just sleeping, as long as you're not out there doing stupid stuff, you're not a criminal. But they'll treat you like one, and they'll lock you up for 30 days just for sleeping in your own vehicle in a public area. Not like you're trespassing. How does that make sense? It just aggravates the piss out of me. Like, these lawmakers that do this, what are they going to do? What if they lose their jobs? What if they become homeless? And I hope some of them do. Just so they understand that anybody, and I mean anybody, can be in my situation, or even worse. Because there's definitely people that have it way worse than I do. Like I say, I'm blessed to have a truck right now. Some people don't even have that. I'm blessed to have skills. I can go out and work. My biggest thing is her. But she's important to me. I mean, I paid in houses for 15 years. I can go out and make real good money. Once I get on a boat. Or once I have somewhere to stay. It's just crazy. But I'll probably do an update too and once I figure out exactly what I'm going to do. But like I said, I'm thinking my best options are to stay out of jail is to go down to Miami. Miami's 120 miles. It'll cost me like $40. I sold those chairs for 80, so I'll be able to still afford it. And I still have a half tank of gas now, so I mean, I'd still end up there with quite a bit of gas too if I put $40 in, because I'd use most of it first and then just fill it right back up, and then I'd be fine. And Miami is, I gotta be careful of Miami too though, because Miami's beautiful, but there's some pretty bad parts of town there too, so just gotta be careful with that. But the drugs are horrible there. Horrible. Miami's like the biggest freaking drug import place there is. And I don't judge people for what they do, but that's something I'll never do. I just don't ever do drugs. Nor do I really drink, so I don't know. I don't really have too much of anything for that type of stuff. But I'll probably make a post update if I end up driving. Who knows? Or maybe I'll do another video later. But I just wanted to give an update of the situation. If you guys would like to support, you can cash out me up. Cash symbol Blues View News. That's BLUESVIEWNEWS. Or there's a link on this profile, Sailing with Gemma on Facebook, that has my GoFundMe, and you can read all about my goals and everything, our whole plan on there. And please mind the grammatical errors. I'm horrible with that. But understand that, I'm doing my best with everything I can. Appreciate anybody who viewed tonight, and thank you, and please share this out. Bye.